It's 372 miles from Tokyo to Kyoto. So we took an ANA flight that landed to the nearest airport in Osaka. After another 60 minutes of bus ride, we arrived in Kyoto, Japan. First stop is at a quaint roadside restaurant, a traditional four-course kaiseki meal. Fresh vegetables, seafood, tofu, rice, and soup. A big meal to get us through our busy day, but light enough to keep us active. Through the main street of Arashiyama, you'll find one main path that will lead you to the bamboo grove. It is one of the most photographed spots in Kyoto. But seeing it with my own eyes, it's even more magical. Our next stop was the Kinkikuchi-dera Golden Pavilion, a 14th century Buddhist Zen temple. The top two floors are covered in gold leaf, and each floor represents a different style of architecture. It is an impressive structure overlooking a large pond and the temple garden surrounding it. There are carved rock sculptures, a tea house, and the head priest's former living quarters.
All right, so that's just a little sneak peek of my Kyoto trip. Of course, you can go to YouTube. I posted it on my Facebook as well. But
I shared my Kit Kat with Bella.
And it's delicious.
And it was wonderful,
It was
right?
so good.
But would you suggest these before a date?
Yeah,
Really?
of course. Why not?
It would break the ice, I suppose.
It makes you feel good, and you want to
Yeah.
be in a good mindset before a date.
There
so
you go.
eat what you like.
We have been
long as it
waiting to
doesn't-
get Bela Gandhi from the Smart Dating Academy on this show. Steve Harvey's called her the fairy godmother of matchmaking or what? Something like that.
Fairy godmother
Dating.
of dating.
And today's show called you like the Cupid of something.
Cupid for hire.
Cupid for hire, right?
Oh, I
right,
like
right,
that.
right.
So let's get right down to it.
All right.
Welcome to the show.
Oh, I've been waiting to be here. It's
Yay.
honored and delighted. Excited.
And the dating game is so different. I mean, we three are all out of it. So update us on the dating scene because it's so challenging, I hear, because now social media is involved.
I'll tell you what, the dating scene in Chicago, if you're single, get inspired because this is the best time of year
Really?
to be out there dating. And I'll start with this. If people think when they're single, like I'm the last person on earth that's single, but the data shows us otherwise. According to the census, there's 107 million single adults in this country. It's 43% of the adult population.
What
Wow.
ages? Like, what's the age range then?
18 to 100.
Oh, okay.
Because there's some 90-year-old women looking.
You'd be surprised at how many
Really?
people I run into in stores, and I tell them what I do if I'm trying on clothes, and they'll say, "Oh my gosh, that's great! My 83-year-old aunt just married somebody from J-Date." I'm like, I love it. Yeah. So this is a great time of year to get out there and dating because the holidays are around the corner. People are making New Year's resolutions, and online dating memberships spike almost 50%. So if you're single and you're thinking of dipping your toe back out there or jumping right back into the water, this is the best time of year to do it.
And you really feel that online dating is the way to go for people. And there's so many niche online dating sites. Or tell us a little bit your theory on finding your match these days.
Look, I look at online dating as, just think about it as the world's largest cocktail party. Okay, and you want to be part of that. So online dating feels like needle in a haystack, but so does dating, right? So anybody, you gotta have some technology in there, whether it's a mainstream site like Match or eHarmony or something like Bumble or Happen, but that should be one part of a dating plan. And 1 in 3 marriages today take place because of online connections. And do you think that number is going to increase or decrease? Increase, totally, I agree. So it's important to do it, but there's a way to do it right and there's a way to not do it right.
What are the biggest mistakes then? Because we always hear about, oh, you look nothing like his picture. I mean, what are you seeing out there that's bad?
Well, that is a great point. You know, people still, you would think, I mean, online dating's been around for over 20 years now, believe it or not, in its current form. I know, isn't that funny?
Yeah.
But yeah, having pictures that are more than 1 year old, huge mistake. And you know, I get women sometimes and we'll look at them when they come in, or we did one on the Steve Harvey show actually, where this woman was like, I'm on 10 different dating sites and I'm getting no traction at all. And so they're like, okay, take a look and let's find out why. And I looked at her photos, and one of her photos had her with pink hair, one had her with short blonde hair, one had her with brunette hair, and I was like, please explain what this is. She's like, well, you know, I like to change my hair a lot, so I want a guy to know that. I'm like, people want to date the person in the picture.
Right.
So let's update these photos. And guess what? Once you're a brunette in your photos, let's stay brunette through the dating process. She's like, I had no idea.
Okay.
Right. So
I'm a little addicted to this show called Married at First Sight.
Oh, I've been watching that too.
So I outed myself. But do you get any requests like that? Or, is that, because it's on TV a lot more, and there's so many different shows, it's kind of similar theme.
And people think the criteria makes sense because you're pairing like-minded people with similar backgrounds.
What's your thought on that?
on just matchmaking people sight
like
unseen
the
and
quick
having them
Married
walk
at
down
First
the aisle.
Sight, yeah.
I mean, look, it can work for people, right? My own parents, my mom is here. They met on a Sunday, they were engaged on Thursday, and they were married 72 hours later. And they've been married for 47 years.
Okay, first of all, there is no one in the audience that is old enough to be your mom. She must show who she is, because no
She's
one's
not old
Googling
enough.
right there.
She looks fantastic.
Okay, I digress, but
Right?
we're going to talk later. Wow.
But that says, so that was a match made, an arranged match?
They were introduced by their fathers.
So that's a little bit more of the cultural side, right? What about, the typical American? Is that something that people are searching for now?
I mean, people are searching for any way to find the right person at this point, right? I mean, if you look at the statistics, 50% of marriages today end up in divorce. Another 10 to 15% of people, which we don't even know or talk about, are permanently separated. So now if you look at that, that's almost 66%. That's 2 in 3 couples gone, bam, bam. 1 in 3 is left standing. Now out of that 1/3, how many do you think are actually happy? Even if we give it heads or tails odds, that's like 1 in 6, right? So people are searching for what is the right way. Is it online? Is it real life? Should I go to events or fundraisers, or what should I be doing? And the real answer is we've got to start with how we're choosing partners. We're not taught how to do that as a culture. And looking at people, we tend to rely on evolutionary instincts.
Yes.
Women want someone that's tall and funny and adventurous, and this dates back to 200,000 years ago and how we search for mates. So it's really, it's consciously choosing partners that make us happy, and we don't do that.
But there are people who still believe in fate, like, oh, I'm gonna run into this person someday at the bookstore, and it's meant to be.
Right. He's going to deliver my pizza, so I'm just going to sit at home and watch Netflix again.
Well, the thing about that would be, you'd know he's employed. I do want to talk about some of the dating, like, do's and don'ts. Somebody should probably have in their mind when they go into it, some of the things they're looking for. And I would think gainfully employed, so the pizza man might be a good choice because he has a job and perhaps a car.
And maybe he loves his job, and that's important. Someone that's passionate and loves what he does.
Right.
We'll take the pizza man.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about some of the do's and don'ts. I like that he's employed.
I love it.
Yeah, and one of the things I tell men and women, and we work with people all over the nation from 25 to our oldest client right now is 79, and it's know that love is going to come to you in an unexpected package.
Okay.
So often we think I have a type. You know, my type is tall, dark, and handsome, and we
Yeah.
continue to do this over and over again. So one of the things we do after we do a process called the marriage map, which helps each client figure out what are the characteristics that are actually going to make me happy in someone, and then we prioritize that. And especially for women, once you have the right lenses on, different people start to come into focus, and chemistry can develop later in the game. Like, we have a rule with our clients: if this person meets your marriage map list, you're going to keep dating them until it's been 5, 6, 7, or 8 dates. And you know what? That is where the magic happens.
Really?
It's not always on date one. No, a lot of times when my clients are like, oh my God, I had the best date ever, I was like, oh, danger, Will Robinson. This is a pattern.
Because it's too good.
It's too good.
Oh.
But that seems so counterintuitive.
I know, it seems
because
like-
you would think chemistry. So
yeah,
not
like
that
you hit
I
it
want
off.
to give dating advice, because my last date, I can't even remember who was president. It was a long time ago. But you would think that chemistry would be the first thing. So I say to my girlfriends, meet them at Starbucks, maybe even at the drive-thru. So if the chemistry is not there, it's like, thanks for the latte,
Someone
see
in
you
the
later.
drive-thru.
So I'm thinking that chemistry is number one, but you're saying that could happen if they follow this marriage mapping, which is so cool. I've never heard of that.
It's really awesome. I mean, I started the company 7 years ago, and we've had, you know, hundreds of marriages and not one split in 7 years.
Wow.
And the majority of divorces happen within years 1 to 7. So yeah, kind of doing things in a different way. And for a lot of people, to your point, Beth, chemistry is, oh my gosh, this person subconsciously reminds me of someone I loved in the past. Someone that I, you know, worship on television, and that's where chemistry, and when we let that physical part of it rule, we're not always looking for compatibility.
Okay.
So you're always talking about smart dating. Let's talk about, I mean, I'm a mom of teens.
All right.
Are there tips that I can give my children to, you know, where can they start and how do you do it smartly?
Right. Don't let them date yet. No.
No, what do you think is
Kids,
the
I hope you're watching.
Yeah, what's the ideal age then? Because I have a 19-year-old and she's had a boyfriend for a while. I mean, what do you think is the ideal age to start dating?
You know, I think probably after 16 or 17, I think it's very reasonable, right, for kids to want to date
Yeah.
at that point. And if we really try to squelch it, then they're probably just going to do it behind our
Behind your
backs.
back, right.
So it's much better to talk to them candidly about the issues that are going to come up. How do they handle dating? What are the characteristics of someone who is good to them versus what's intolerable? What kind of abuse when someone starts to be controlling or mean or bullying, whether it's in person or on social media? There's a whole lot of that. So I think having those conversations now with our kids, even your tweens, it's not too early to have those discussions.
I love it. Thank you. I mean, that's really helpful because, you know, those are the conversations we've never had with our parents.
And like you
dating.
said,
And
nobody's really ever taught you about that, so that was
Relationships
a great
like that.
question.
And there are apps out there, you know, for a while, an app as big as Tinder that was founded by Match had a Tinder for teens that nobody really knew about. 13
I didn't
to
know about
17-year-olds
Tinder for
were
teens.
swiping
Wow.
left and
Oh,
right
I'm
and
not
meeting
happy
people.
about that one.
Right. No parents were really happy
Oh,
about this,
my
and it wasn't
goodness.
well publicized. But in that age demo, granted, they've taken it down since then, there were more 13 to 17-year-olds on Tinder than 35 to 44-year-olds.
Whoa.
Right. So there are lots and lots of ways for our kids to be out. I mean, people are meeting on Instagram and on Twitter. So yeah, have
That's
these conversations with your kids early. I say, look, the people that you date eventually become the people you marry. So it's not too early.
You said that this is high time. I mean, this is high season. But do you think that because of the pressure of the holidays and you're seeing family and you really want to be with somebody, that people might rush into relationships that they might not belong in?
Yes. Absolutely, right. If they feel chemistry, they're like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, and then they go out on 6 dates with this person. Like I met him on a Tuesday, and then we were together
Right.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
Right.
Monday,
And you don't
then a
wanna be
week later
alone.
we were broken up.
Yeah.
Right. So again, it's taking things slow and steady. So one of the things we do at Smart Dating Academy after we do the mapping process is we really give our clients what we call a dating trajectory. Telling them, here's the frequency with which you should be dating this person to keep it on the straight and narrow. I don't want you to go out on 7 dates in 7 days. That's too much too soon. And you know what's going to happen is it's probably going to flame out. right? Everybody knows that one couple that met in a bar,
Yeah.
had sex, happily married, they live in Glenview with 3 kids now, right? But that's more the exception than the rule, right?
Mary, did you tweet a question? I know you're out
Thanks,
there.
Mary. Appreciate that.
This is such great advice. Where can people find you? We need to do a whole show with you because I haven't gone through my 5 non-negotiables when it comes to dating. We'll hold that for another show.
Oh, absolutely. People are making their resolutions now. So come and see us, smartdatingacademy.com. You can like our page on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Smart Dating Academy.
Great.
Thank you so
Yay.
much.
Thank you, Bella. You're
you.
fantastic. Wow.
Hey.
So speaking of bubbly and happy and being stylish, which Bella was, I think we have Cheryl.
Cheryl Leahy, who's our chic styler. Of course, she's always back with some great styles for you guys.